My name is Bob Jenkins. I am the managing partner, along with my brother DJ, of VETSBUILT Contracting, based out of Carefree, Arizona. We started the company 10 years ago as a handyman business, and I quickly said to my brother DJ, we're not handymen, we need to start a general contracting business. And so we then rapidly moved out of the handyman side into more of the general contracting. My background in the construction industry is I started banging nails when I was a kid in Connecticut. I spent 4 years in the Marine Corps as a combat engineer, where we did a lot of building, on top of a lot of other things. And then when I got out of the Marine Corps, I went to college in Boston and started buying, fixing, flipping, renovating condominiums in Boston. Then I got into building houses on the South Shore of Boston and Cape Cod. Up on the North Shore, the crash hit in 2008, and make a very long story short, I packed up and moved to Arizona, where my brother DJ and I got talking about starting the business. He came up with the name VETSBUILT, and we have been just growing exponentially every year since. Great reputation. We try to do really, really high quality work. We are licensed, bonded, and insured. We used to work all over the valley, and now we've gotten such a good reputation that we really can kind of pick and choose the jobs that we want, and we're trying to stay north in the local area. A big part of that too is with gas at $4 and $5 a gallon. I don't want to be traveling to Chandler, Mesa, Peoria, Sun City, etc. So we've been very, very successful. We've been very blessed over the past 10 years to have grown the business where we are. We try to find, where we can, we try to find veterans. And we've got about 40, maybe 50 subcontractors that we've been using over the past 10 years. And out of those, roughly 30, maybe 40% are veterans, or they have veterans working for them. A good example of that is my electrician is not a vet, but he's got a Marine that works for him. So whenever we do a job, I have that Marine on he worked on this job, the one we're sitting at right now. So I try to bring veterans in and hire and put veterans to work wherever I can. In addition to that, we donate a lot of money, time, and effort to several veterans' causes. One in particular is the Marine Corps Law Enforcement Foundation, the Arizona Scottsdale chapter right here. So we do a lot with veterans. We did a job at the Boulders for a British couple that had retired. They had lived in Austin, Texas, and they bought a house in the Boulders that was one of the older, well, the Boulders is started, in the 80s. So it needed a gut renovation. And we met Katherine Mueller Design over at Cetera at the Design Center in Scottsdale. And we got working with Katie on that job and got along really, really well. And it went so well that Katie invited us into another job and invited us into this job, and yet another one we're going to start in a couple weeks. So we've been working pretty closely with Katie, and it's a little quid pro quo. Katie will throw things at me and ask me if I want to go to work or bid on it. And then when I have a customer that asks about interior design, I pull Katie right into those. So it's been a very symbiotic, good, solid relationship between us. This job is one of the more challenging that we've ever done. The attention to detail was second to none. The homeowners are extremely detailed, and everything had to be perfect. The budget came in such that the homeowner said, what we'll do is we're going to break this down to phase 1 and we'll do phase 2 later. So phase 1 was literally starting from the front door in, through the hallway, through the lounge, into the kitchen, into the family room that we're in right now. The hallway, the stairs, everything in here was gutted, down to the walls. Everything came out, and then we completely rebuilt. Lighting, plumbing, electric, floors, archways, walls, fireplace, cabinets, putting the door in over here to open that up, There's nothing in here that we haven't touched. In this case, working with Ron and Derek, it was always a really good, clean, open dialogue. Here's what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna do it. This is why we're gonna do it. Here's what the outcome will be. There were several times that Derek is very linear, very, very detailed. He would ask questions 3 and 4 and 5 steps down the road, and we'd work together on the solution. You're right, I hadn't thought of that. This is how we're gonna do it, and we'd solve those problems. So it worked out really, really well. Doesn't always, but in this case, it worked out really well. We worked at Desert Mountain. We worked in the Boulders, Troon, Terra Vita. We worked in some pretty high-end neighborhoods and done some pretty high-end jobs.